Throughout history, there have been
this guy, I fuck with this guy. Jack this nigga right here, bro. This nigga cool niggas right here.
rare cases where suspects have been able to outsmart the cops using their own tactics. And today, we look at 3 of them.
Is that your car?
That is my car.
Okay.
You're not towing my car.
Starting with the case of Joshua Lloyd. In July of 2022, Joshua Lloyd was geocaching in Phoenix, Arizona. For those unfamiliar, geocaching is a recreational activity where participants hide and seek containers called caches, using clues and coordinates as guides. While Joshua was looking for one of these caches on the side of a public road, it became clear that someone wasn't pleased with his actions.
We'll talk to you soon. We'll see you later. Oh, hold on. We got the cops.
Morning.
Morning, can I help you?
I don't know, can we help you? Do you live here?
This is public, correct?
I'm not sure on that. It could be private property.
Could be, but if there was, I do believe there would be a sign posted somewhere, right?
Not necessarily. Somebody called on you.
That's nice.
It seems the officer is having a tough day right from the start. He chooses to instigate a confrontation, seemingly without provocation. While the officer is technically right about not needing permission to inspect the car, Joshua was merely being polite. However, the officer's repeated attempts at escalation appear unnecessary.
Is that your car?
That is my car.
Okay. Well, if it is public...
Just me, but if you want to go check, go ahead, go check.
Can I get your permission to do anything else?
No.
Do I need your permission?
No,
Do I
because
need your permission to check the car?
you would need my permission to go inside the car.
No, but you just said if you want to go check if there's someone else in the car. Do I
Oh, yeah, go check and you can go look in and see if...
Go ahead. Do I need you to tell me to go ahead to do it, or can I do it on my own?
Well, I mean, you could do it on your own. You can do a plain view search.
Okay, good.
To go inside the car, you need permission.
Not necessarily.
What do you mean, not necessarily?
His initial outburst comes across as stemming from some underlying insecurity, and this trend only becomes more evident as the video continues. The officer appears to be amplifying every minor detail, making it more significant than necessary. While at first glance, a car registered under a different name alongside someone who seemed to be intently staring at a wall for half an hour might raise eyebrows, it's clear that Joshua has a valid explanation. If the police took a moment, they'd probably understand. Instead of seeking clarity from Joshua, who's willingly offering an explanation, the officer impulsively chooses to tow the car and contact its registered owner.
Joshua. Huh? Joshua.
You're not towing my car.
We may have to tow it. It's not registered to him. It's registered to a female. It's a van. It's left on the roadway running. I'm not going to leave it here.
Ooh.
Just running. So let's get a hold of
Really?
boss, and we'll find out if we're safekeeping. Otherwise, somebody's going to make off with this thing.
Yeah. Are you serious? Not even gonna question me on who it's registered to?
The smirk on the other officer's face speaks volumes. It's clear he recognizes his partner's behavior as not only excessive, but also peculiar. But protocol stops him from openly criticizing his colleague.
Gonna tow my car. You're gonna let him act like that? For real? You're gonna let him act like that? He comes out all hard ass. Why? What's the point?
The demeanor of the second officer once his partner departs is reminiscent of a partner.
It's like this nigga realized, like, damn, my partner is really fucking up in this situation. And, like, I can't make him look bad, so I might as well just not say nothing. That's probably what this nigga thinking to himself in his head.
Who's brought a child to work, advising Josh to humor the child's antics.
You've been allowed to use the car?
I live with her. Yes, and I'm allowed to use the car.
All right, well, we're going to do some research, find out whose property that is. Got your name, your information. If it turns out that it is private property, then I'll author a report for trespassing.
The first officer then mentions to Josh about taking a leave to ascertain the status of the property, probing whether it's private or not. However, from a legal perspective, there are several layers to consider. First, even if it were to be private property, convicting Josh of trespassing would be a challenging endeavor. The footage clearly indicates that the patch of land Josh was on is adjacent to a public sidewalk. Crucially, there's an absence of any signage or markers denoting that the grassy area here is private property. Legally, for a trespassing charge to hold weight, there needs to be a clear indication that the individual knowingly entered an area they were prohibited from. Given the lack of visible demarcation or signage, it would be arduous to argue that Josh was aware of trespassing. Essentially, one of the foundational elements of trespassing in many jurisdictions is intent. Without signage, it becomes almost impossible to prove that Josh had the intent of knowingly trespassing, which is critical for such a charge. Before the officers leave the scene, however, Josh prepares to make one final point.
Can I have your name and badge number, please? Your card?
8632.
Your card, please. I have a bad memory. Can I have your card, sir?
We don't have cards.
Okay. Can I have your name and badge number, please?
8818. Josh, but I could do some further research before you go on a property. Find out.
You know, hold on. Before you go and give me the lecture, how about this? Before you come up all hard ass on somebody, how about before you come up all hard ass on somebody, you ask them what they're doing?
Now, if a regular citizen can own the cops like this, imagine what a lawyer can do.
I'm a lawyer. I know my rights. That's fine. Just give me back my ID. Thank you.
Westerville civil rights attorney Emmanuel Olawale found himself in an unusual situation when he was pulled over by the police right on his own property.
If I'm not mistaken, this is a Nigerian lawyer. He's gonna be a fucking issue.
Olawale was throwing trash in a dumpster when officers approached him. Their initial concern was that he might be trespassing, even though he was on his own land.
Here's my business card. Need my
Alright.
ID?
Huh?
Show you my ID.
If you don't mind, just so, yeah, if you don't mind, can we see your ID?
Yeah.
Well, that is pretty cool. That's a slick business card.
Yep.
All right. I'll give it to him.
The man was simply going about his business when the police approached him and asked for an ID. Up to that point, everything seemed to be standard. However, when one of the officers started noting down details from his ID, that's when concerns begin to arise. Immediately tapping into his legal expertise, Emmanuel informs the police that they lack a valid reason to run his ID and document its details.
You can keep doing what you're doing. We're just, again, we're kind of
understand.
concerned.
Understand.
Yeah.
Okay.
Seeing somebody dump a bunch of
Just-
stuff there. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I have it back? Just don't run it.
Oh.
You don't have to, don't run my card. Don't run my ID.
Huh?
Don't run my ID.
Don't run your ID?
You have no reason to.
Tensions rise when the
He's
officers start
Nigerian.
saying that Emmanuel
He's
is
Nigerian.
trespassing on someone
He's
else's
Nigerian.
property and improperly
He's
disposing of his
Nigerian.
trash there. But Emmanuel repeatedly asserts that he lives on that very property and therefore isn't infringing on anyone else's rights.
well, we're going to at least mark it down. We're going to
you,
take down your
lawyer.
information.
Nope.
The word.
I'm on my property. Put in trash in my.
Okay. But this is not just your property. It's several people's property.
I understand.
Okay.
But I'm not violating any law.
But when the cops refuse to listen, Emmanuel decides it's time to reveal that he's a lawyer.
Violating any
No,
law.
no. Don't run my ID. I'm a lawyer. I know my rights.
Okay.
I'm not violating any law. I'm on my property. There's no suspicion. No one called anybody. So don't run my ID. I only identified myself so that this won't escalate.
This revelation catches the officers off guard, clearly not something they had anticipated. In an attempt to save face, they retort by claiming they have the authority to record anyone's ID, persisting in their accusation of him engaging in illegal dumping.
That's fine. But we can still mark down who we're out with. And so that's what we're going to do.
No.
Yes.
You didn't stop me. Don't turn
Yes.
this into an issue.
Sir, you are turning this into an issue. We're just simply marking down who we're out with.
Yeah.
So he's just
How
going to write it
could
down
you?
on a piece of
Oh,
paper. Yeah.
it's just your name.
Why?
Because, sir, we are out with you because we were concerned that you were illegally dumping.
As the saying goes, it's tough to outsmart an expert in their own field. Emmanuel was well versed in his rights and didn't hesitate to school the officers. Despite the lawyer's clarity, the officers didn't budge, demanding that he verify that the dumpster belonged to him.
But I don't know if this dumpster belongs to you or somebody else in the
It belongs
complex.
to me.
To you and you alone.
Yes.
Can you prove that that dumpster belongs to you and you alone?
Emmanuel put an end to the dispute by clarifying that he was footing the bill for the dumpsters, as he resided in one of the apartment units. With a firm tone, he instructed the officers to hand back his ID, realizing they were dealing with someone intimately familiar with his rights, and with their leverage diminished, the police had little option but to comply.
So what? It belongs to everybody. We're paying for
Okay.
it. It doesn't really matter if it belongs to all the units.
That's fine.
Just give me back my ID. Thank you.
Next, we have the case of Mark Denclaw, a career criminal who was no stranger to interacting with the police, and he was the president of the Gypsy Joker Motorcycle Club.
It's against my fucking...
Oh, this guy's a fucking issue. He's a fucking problem. He's a boring problem.
nature to sit here and talk to cops. You got your world, I got mine. In my world, rats are pieces of shit.
Mark is under police questioning because some months ago
in my world, rats are pieces of shit.
They discovered a man named Robert Huggins' body in a field. After a detailed investigation, it was revealed that Robert was a former member of the same club where Mark served as president. Robert had been kicked out from the club for stealing money to finance his heroin habit. Upset by his removal, Robert broke into Mark's home, restrained his girlfriend, and took money. Upon discovering this, Mark rounded up some club members and retaliated.
My name's Scott Curtis with the Clark County Sheriff's Office.
All right. What's your name?
Kevin.
Kevin?
Also with Clark County.
What's going on, fellas?
You're with a motorcycle club. You have some affiliation with one, is that right?
I don't have any answers for questions like that.
Okay. Well, the reason I'm asking is that a few months back, a gentleman named Jeff Sudan, you know him? He threw your name out in conjunction with kind of a repossession of a car, or collection of a car. Does that sound familiar to you?
No. Jeff Sudan almost might. I'm not sure about that. It seems like Sudan rings a bell somewhere, but no collections of a car. No, I don't know.
The police pieced this together when another club member who struggled with drug addiction was jailed for drug possession. He inadvertently revealed too much during a taped phone conversation with his girlfriend.
And you're living with a gal down there, is that right?
No, I kicked her out.
Oh,
she comes and stays. She stays, but she can only stay for 3 days at a time. She's kind of a transient.
Huh, okay.
I took her off the lease, and the people that I rent the house from said she can only stay for 3 days at a time.
Okay, so this last time, how long was she?
So there's my background. That's it on Nicole. What else you want to know?
Okay.
Is Nicole the problem here? I mean, I know that she's had the cops over a few times. Is it about the other night?
It does involve Nicole. Nicole had let me back up a little bit. How long have you been in a relationship?
I'm not going to answer any more questions about Nicole.
Okay.
I don't have any more answers for you until I find out what you're talking about.
Okay, well,
you guys brought me in. I didn't bring you in. I want to hear what you got to talk about.
Well, I'm trying to get to that, but part of that's going to involve how long you've known Nicole.
Well, if you don't want to tell me what the heck I'm doing here, say so. Because I'm not going to sit here and give you a bunch of my background so you can play whatever kind of game you're playing.
The police informed Mark that the reason he's been detained is because a woman he lives with named Donna allegedly stole a car from him and she's been located. Mark is puzzled by this claim because if it were true, he would be the victim. Why would they detain a victim? Sometimes the police might question a person about unrelated incidents, making them believe they're clear of their primary suspicion. This tactic can make an individual feel at ease, increasing the chances they'll speak freely without seeking legal counsel.
I'm looking for the crime is what I'm looking for. What fucking car are you talking about, man?
I think it was an Acura. Does that sound
okay? Well, what about it?
Okay. She took off in an Acura.
No.
No?
No.
Okay.
You're wrong. I'm not gonna tell you the story because it's a personal story and there's no crime that I'm not gonna press charges about anything.
Okay.
And I would be the only in the story that you're talking about.
Nigga said, I'm not gonna press charges about anything. This nigga, he not a rat. He not a rat. He knows what he's doing. You could tell this nigga has talked to cops before. Like, he's been in a situation like this before. He knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing.
There's only one person in the world that could press any charges about it, and that'd be me.
The detectives shift their focus, aiming to determine a motive for Robert Huggins' murder. They clarify to Mark that their questioning isn't solely about the car theft, but also the break-in at his house.
Word.
Mark, however, acts confused about this. Just as he was the victim in the car theft, he was also the victim of the home robbery. So why was he
9
apprehended and
hours?
brought in for questioning?
What you mean 9 hours? It's been 23 hours. Wait, did the stream restart? Wait, hold on. Because I've been live for 23 hours, my brother. The stream must have restarted, bro. The stream must have been restarted, bro. Because I've been live for 20... Yeah, okay. Yeah, it did restart that. Yeah, I've been live for 23 hours, my brother. And I'm going to hit 24 hours in like 26 minutes, bro. How? I mean, I fell asleep for a time, for a little, for somewhat, but what motivated me I'm not gonna lie. I seen another one of my mans do it. And one of my mans on Twitch, he did a 100-hour stream, and I was like, if he could do a 100-hour stream, why can't I do a 24-hour stream? Of course, he had a lot of sleep, but for me, that just shows you don't want it enough. There's people who want it. He doesn't have a job. He doesn't go to college, so obviously he's able to do a 100-hour stream. But me, on the other hand, I can't do that. Like, I would have been... Nah, proud of you. Thank you. I would have been did a 24-hour stream if, you know, for me. I appreciate it. Yo, Zane, I did bad, bro. Wait, hold on. Hold on, Faye. We gotta be tight.
Basically, there's a robbery at your house. Why would she be in trouble? You say you don't want to get her in trouble. Why would she be in trouble for that? That's what I'm missing.
Because okay. All right, man. You know, I wish.
But Kevin might be able to get a little bit more than 24. He been getting like 27 or higher. Oh yeah, I know. That nigga, he been going cool. I'm not. Yo, LaMelo Ball has been going crazy, bro. Every night that LaMelo Ball is playing, I have to bet on him. I have to. Oh my God, LaMelo is something else, bro. Nah, LaMelo dead is. That's what I'm saying. Like, that nigga been going cool. 30-point games for like the last 10 games, bro. Nah. He been bugging. That's what I'm saying. Nah, LaMelo is something else. LaMelo is free. LaMelo is free money on. I ain't gonna lie. Making niggas mad, bro. That's what I'm saying. That nigga LaMelo, he know what he doing.
Nicole's here. I feel like a piece of shit for even talking shit behind her back. Nicole set that whole fucking thing up. That was her and her friend. They fucking zip tied her. They knew the fucking guy was coming. That was a setup. She robbed me. She even brought the stuff that was robbed. She brought a bunch of it back. Man, that's her and her friends. If you want to know the fucking truth, I've been robbed by the girl so many fucking times you couldn't even count it.
Mark is one step ahead, and all this maneuvering with the detectives is a strategic attempt to divert attention from himself and remove any motive linking him to Robert's demise. By blaming the break-in on Nicole and claiming she returned some stolen items, he tries to illustrate he had no reason to go after Robert. This move is clever. It not only introduces a new suspect, Nicole, causing the detectives to potentially reconsider their investigation direction, but also might align with evidence if indeed Nicole returned stolen items. However, the strategy carries significant risks, as we'll see later on. Mark's entire narrative depends on Nicole corroborating his story. If she denies it or presents a different version, Mark's claims could crumble, further implicating it. Additionally, if Nicole confirms Mark's version, she's essentially confessing to a crime, putting her own freedom in jeopardy. This admission might strain their bond, making her an unpredictable ally.
Is Bagger Bob part of that? Part of her junkie friends?
Bagger Bob?
Yeah. That ring a bell?
Fuck, you're talking. Yeah, I know who that is. He's fucking the guy that got killed about a fucking year and a half ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was he one of the ones who set this up with Nicole?
Man, you know, you're gonna have to, if you're trying to like tie that into this or something like that, you're gonna have to talk to Nicole about that.
Okay. So was Bagger Bob one of your friends, not hers?
Well, you know, like I said, you know, actually, if now that fucking you're starting to bring his name into it, and he got killed, now I don't think I have any other questions to answer for you. Now I think having a lawyer here might be a good idea.
Mark considers getting a lawyer due to the questions about Robert. Often people keep talking to the police because they're eager to know what evidence is held against them, unaware that a lawyer can obtain this through the discovery process. On top of this, many think they can persuade the police of their innocence by answering questions a certain way. Some also fear that requesting a lawyer might make them seem guilty. However, Mark is too smart and too experienced to let any of this happen.
Let me clarify something with you.
Okay.
Do you want us to keep chatting, or do you want to talk to a lawyer? I need to know that.
Well, if you want
me.
to tell me what I'm doing here and what reason, I may try to help you out with that. But if you're going to keep me in the dark, well, then I got nothing else to say either.
I need to know if you want a lawyer now or if we can keep chatting. This is what
You can keep chat. I'll keep listening a little longer before I call in a lawyer.
Interrogations can be compared to a game of poker, with both parties attempting to outsmart each other. Detectives might bluff, suggesting they know the full story due to another party's confession. If a suspect falls for this, they might confess in hopes of facing lighter charges. However, it's a gamble. If the suspect identifies the bluff, they might recognize the lack of evidence and decide to terminate the interview altogether. This is what Mark tries to do.
So we know what's true and what's not true. Are we going to tell you everything that we know? Of course not.
Okay.
I don't think you would expect that.
Well, what I do expect is for you to tell me where I fit in. What is my crime in these stories that you're talking about? And I'm not really talking to you now. I really don't have any answers for your stories. I'm not going to straighten your stories out for you and stuff.
Mark is on edge, waiting for any indication from the police that he's a suspect so he can call for a lawyer. As he mentioned earlier, he's wary of seeming guilty, so he wants the detectives to provide a clear reason for him to seek legal counsel. The detectives are aware of this tactic, which is why they've been careful to not directly accuse him, and have kept their questions ambiguous to this point.
Well,
I'm not. Am I arrested for anything?
You're being detained at this point.
Okay, but I'm not under arrest quite yet.
That's correct.
Okay, then I don't need a lawyer quite yet.
Now, Mark has decided to make a strategic move. In some interrogations, suspects might request a lie detector test as a form of a bluff. This is their way of signaling to the police their self-assuredness, implying that they're not afraid of a machine that could potentially detect their lies.
We don't know who to talk to.
Here you go.
Okay.
All right, man. I'm going to help you get unconfused, all right? If you think that I did something wrong, anything, okay, any kind of crime, let me get my lawyer over here, and I will tell my lawyer, you know what? Give these guys a lie detector test. Just take a lie detector test. Don't make these cops suspect the wrong people. So if you guys think I did anything wrong, hit me with a lie detector test or something. I've got nothing to fucking hide.
In a last-ditch effort, the detectives ask Mark about his relationship with Robert. They're hoping Mark will say that he did not like him or they did not get along.
Okay, but he never did anything to you.
No.
Okay, you never went eyes on with him again.
Nah, he's dead bugging, bro. He's bugging, bro. Cause I'm not gonna lie, I'm not telling no cop, let me take a lie detector test. Cause I'm not taking no lie detector test, nigga. I would then lie on that shit. Be like, damn, I ain't gonna lie. Y'all niggas got me, bro. Like, nah. That nigga's a little too confident, bro.
Again, after that, when he was out of the club.
But then again, he's saying that as a gamble so that they think to themselves, damn, this nigga right here, he's so confident, there's no point in even giving him a lie detector test. He controlling them all the way. He using manipulate. Yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is.
He respected me, I think, and he talked very nice to me anytime I ever saw him. I'll tell you that. Me and him never had a bad word.
In the end, Mark, along with several club members, were arrested and faced murder charges. A raid on the biker club unveiled evidence pointing to years of illicit activities. Nicole and a few others decided to cooperate with the prosecution. In return for their testimonies, they were granted leniency in their sentences. Mark, however, was handed a life sentence for his involvement.
Damn.
I'm a lawyer.